Hey everyone, welcome to a new episode of the Red Devils Corner Kick podcast, a fan podcast dedicated to Manchester United Football Club. As always, like, subscribe, follow, whether you're following on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or YouTube, and as well as social media, Instagram and TikTok and X, and you can follow through social media, Instagram, TikTok, or X. A bit of a tongue twister there, I do apologize. Listen, it is Wednesday. We had a match today. This is the post game episode for the match. Women's squad drew 0-0 to West Ham United. I feel like there's a carryover from Saturday. Depth was an issue. Well, no, I wouldn't say depth was an issue. We have the pieces there. Today just seemed like a concern. We did not play well. We dropped points. Chelsea won today. We dropped points. Arsenal are 2 games in hand. So these final games of the season are now crucial. And I mentioned that on the preview episode 2 nights ago. Or last night, sorry. So we're at a staging point now where we're looking at and we're like, well, shit, now we lost points. We had to win the game. We have to win on Saturday because we're going up against City a week from Saturday. We have to make sure that we're healthy because we're facing Byron next week. But today was an important game. Every game is important. Let's not pretend that, especially now going down the final stretches of the games. This game was more important than ever. This was a game where we could not afford to lose points. And like I mentioned, Chelsea won today. Now they're up a point on us. Arsenal hasn't played. And I believe if I were to look at the table, and I have to double check to see when Arsenal play. Check their next fixture. They play Sunday against West Ham, the same West Ham that we struggled to play with. And then, they have West Ham, and then Arsenal and Chelsea face each other in Champions League, and they have Tottenham. But yeah, they play Thursday again, or play Saturday, and we're going to be adjusting. Looks like they didn't play today, which I'm a little shocked. Actually, no, they just played on Saturday. They beat them, and then we're playing. I wonder why they didn't get a midweek game. We did. Well, they still have games to make up, but actually, that was the Lionesses game, I believe, that they had to make up. But no, going back to it, yeah, they play Saturday. They play against West Ham, the team that we struggled to play against today. We're playing Everton. So if they come out with a win, they tie us, to say the least. And then we have to go into Saturday now. Like we have to go into mode here of having to win these games. Listen, it's going to be a challenge, like I said. But just going back to the game, there's definitely going over to carryover. I do realize I was going on about the future for the rest of the season. But going back to today's match and just watching it, they couldn't do anything offensively. First of all, hands down, like, congratulate the West Ham keeper, Seismic. I hope I pronounced that right. If I didn't, I do apologize. She made some incredible saves today. We had opportunities today. Let's not take that away from anything. United had opportunities. Did we capitalize on those opportunities? No, we didn't. Was there a carryover of issues from Saturday? Yes, there was. Does the offense struggle? Yes. Are people getting fed up with Skinner? From the post that I read today, after the post game, yeah, there's some people out there that that weren't too happy with his decision with the lineup. Listen, we do have some depth concerns because Riviera did not play today. She wasn't in the lineup, obviously, probably from Sunday. again, we only have one defender to do in the rotation. So when you're looking at the lineup here, yeah, in depth again, again, you can say Miyazawa is there. We're missing Toon. We're missing Galton. We're missing Sandberg. Those are Toon and Sandberg are huge. Missing Riviere today is huge. Missing Miyazawa is huge. Having those 4 players not available is huge today. We could have used that. We could have used that for depth. We can use them for depth on Saturday, and we can use them for depth for the next 3 games after that because of how important they are. But it's still no excuse. They had opportunities. They just couldn't capitalize. There were like some of them looked tired from Sunday, sorry. So fatigue was definitely there. Park was subbed off early. She was not playing well. Same with Janssen. Terlin as well. So, but we got players in, and yeah, but we still couldn't do anything. Realistically, yeah, we couldn't do anything. The one thing too is Janssen on the outside. She is technically playing out of her position. She is more of a center back, but she looked like she struggled today, especially that outside. Like West Ham was moving that pretty well on the outside. Not much on, like we were getting chances, but again they couldn't capitalize. West Ham played well. They did. They controlled it. In the end, like we got a shutout, great clean sheet. Like, you can say that's the only positive. Like other than that, it was just like Sunday. The struggle was there, trying to move the ball, get an attack going, trying to get the ball in the back of the net. They couldn't do that today, and that's a concern, especially when we're going into this stretch. They have to find a way to bounce back, and the bounce wasn't there today. I told that for the last episode too, for the preview. United have to bounce back, and unfortunately they couldn't. So listen, a lot of concerns after today. There was a lot of concerns going into today. You can talk about what certain players have done, but in the end, we came away with a draw and we dropped points. There's no way to look at it here. There was problems today. It lingered from Sunday. Again, you can give a round of applause to West Ham's keeper. She made some incredible saves, but there seemed to be that they weren't able to do much to move it today, and that's the thing. And we're going to be going into games where we're going to need everyone to step up. So, and we're not getting Toon, we're not getting Sandberg, we're not getting Galton back. They're not going to be back until April. Riviere hopefully should be back. We need people healthy, hopefully going into Saturday. That's going to be key. And again, I'm doing the watch along. So I think what Skinner has to do is he has to look at what he has and realize, hey, we need to get things going. And you can see the frustration in him. You can see that in the post-game comments, especially with the comments that came from Sunday. You can see that. He still has hope, but again, you can also put this on the players. Like, I put it on for the men's squad. You can put it on the players for the women's squad too. They didn't show up. They didn't show up Sunday, and they didn't show up today when the games matter. These games do matter. Like, yeah, cool. We didn't lose any points. We got a point. We didn't lose all 3, but we still dropped. We have to fend off Chelsea. We have to fend off Arsenal. We want to try and keep up with, try to get close to Man City, especially going to next week. Again, like hypothetically, if they were to win today, we would have been 2 games back of City going into this weekend, and then facing them the weekend after. And that's hoping that you're pulling off wins. But yeah, like we're 8 points now back. We got to get wins this weekend. We have to get a win next weekend. So the pressure is mounting. The risk of missing Champions League is there. Like Chelsea's playing Lionesses this weekend. Who does Manchester City have? They got Tottenham, and you're hoping that the last time they played Tottenham wasn't the best. Let's just take a look here. I thought they just played Tottenham. No, that was back in September, and they beat them 5-1 back in September. Maybe I'm thinking, maybe I'm a little confused. But yeah, it's not the greatest. So you like, again, stats can say everything. Again, stats, and you know my opinion on stats. I'm not the biggest fan of them. Yeah, you can look at it. You can look great possession. You can say shots. You can say all that. You can say that it was one-sided for Manchester United, but they couldn't capitalize. But that's the thing that's hard to beat. Again, if you want to look into stats, United, like I mentioned, I didn't say that they didn't have stats, but I'm just saying. Sorry, I didn't say that they didn't have chances, but West Ham was able to stop them. But they weren't doing enough to get it there. And some of the shots looked at it were easy saves, but the one header that West Ham stopped was a nice save. But they weren't doing enough to get the ball in there. They had to capitalize on chances, and they weren't. They weren't. There was definitely a linger there. There's definitely problems. The one thing too is they're not doing anything to get into the box. That's the one thing that's tough. Like, you have to get it into your opponent's six. Like, they were taking long shots. That's like they're trying to get crosses in, but it wasn't a good performance. And you can say that Sunday lingered. Like, it was a little bit. You can say some performances were better, but it still lingered. Like, it still showed that they didn't really. I might be a little too generous on my ratings today, but all right, let's get to player ratings. Tulis Joyce 7, again getting a clean sheet, great. She did make a couple good saves. Janssen 6, just struggling on that outside. Turner 6.5, Letitia 6.5, Lundqvist 6.5. Our attack, our midfield wasn't the best. There's a struggle again. Everyone was just average today. That's what it is. Everyone was just average. They didn't do enough to get there. Letitia, Lundqvist, like, again, the back four, they still contained the shutout. They still stopped them, but everyone else was just, like, there's nothing on the attack. So there's a struggle there. And like I mentioned on Sunday and a little bit today from when I was watching, like, the connection from trying to get to the back to the front. Again, yes, you can keep looking at the stats, but we didn't do any. Like, we didn't do anything. We didn't do enough to win. And that's what's concerning. So again, going back, Tulis Joyce 7, Janssen 6, Turner 6.5, Letitia 6.5, Lundqvist 6.5, Turlin 6, Zigiotti 6, Nelson 6, Park 6, Schuler 6, Rolfo 6, Mallard, Wangerham, Owojo, George, Drury, all 6. They didn't lose, but they didn't win, and they were just bang average today. That's we needed more. We don't need you to be average against West Ham. We need you to excel and dominate against West Ham. And none of them dominated today. They didn't. Maybe I'm a little generous with those ratings. Maybe just a little bit. Definitely a lot more upsetting on Sunday than I was today. But yeah, Sunday carried over and there was an issue. You can see it there. But yeah, they have to get themselves back into it, especially with Saturday coming up. We can't drop anything against Everton. We have to get ourselves mentally prepared for next week against Bayern, because that's not going to be easy. The next 3 games after Everton are just going to be battering. We're going to be up. We're going uphill. But yeah, they need to get themselves back. So I'm going to leave that there for today's episode. I am back tomorrow. Pre-game men's squad versus Bournemouth. So we'll be discussing that. Catching up on the men's squad as well. just to because I haven't did a little bit yesterday at the end of the post game or a post at the end of the preview episode. So, but yeah, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, follow YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and then don't forget the social media: Instagram, TikTok, or X. You can follow that there as well. But yeah, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. I won't be doing a preview episode for Saturday because I will be doing the post game Friday after Bournemouth. So, but yeah, we'll definitely discuss it again. The watch along is happening on Saturday morning. So, okay. But yeah, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. This is the Red Devils Corner Kick podcast. Glory, glory, Man United.